Oh, welcome back. Excuse me guys, I'm still got me bit of a chest infection. But when you're harvesting rhubarb, you need to try and get it so it pulls off like that. That helps the crown. And I'll try and prepare most of my rhubarb while I'm actually at the allotment. Because of the amount of debris you get from them. Don't need a great deal. Right, I'll just go and fetch the glass tray that I've cleaned. These padded seats off the fitness gym equipment that people throw away come in very useful. But I used to take this home and actually cut this off, but then you still got to bring all the horizons, and I'm not too worried about how much of the skin I cut off because I've got plenty. Bought the knife from home as well, so it's nice, clean and fresh. But I'll get this finished and then I'll show you what else I'm going to be doing before I make my crumbles a little bit later on. I'm sure Mrs. K would appreciate that. Well, it was a really frosty morning again this morning, and the rhubarb leaves are just wilted a little bit. And there we have this little bit of rhubarb. I normally do more than that. I know most people will probably know that the rhubarb leaves are poisonous, but do you also know this is also poisonous as well? Now, I like it stewed, and I was eating it every day, and it made me bad. So, just because we can have it now, it doesn't mean to say we've got to eat it all. So I do the rhubarb crumbles. Now, if you know any good recipes or know how to make your own crumble mix, pop it in the comments. I use these little trays. They're silver foil. I used to use steak and kidney pie trays. Didn't realise that they've got holes in the sides. So when you cook them, warm them up, it leaked into Mrs. K's oven. Fill it up there, don't overfill it, pop the crumble on top and pop the lid on. It stacks really well in the freezer. But it's nice to have something extra to add to the rhubarb. And we've got raspberries here and blackberries, so let's see if we can get a harvest. Well, we all know that they're not ready at the moment, but I've got I think it's 8 of these bags, and as you can see, these blackberries are a good size off this plant, and it's one of the bigger bags, zippy bags. I've put it in the cardboard because I don't want it to get too dirty, because it's got to go back in the freezer once I've added some of those frozen blackberries. And I put them onto a tray in the top of the freezer loosely so that they don't all stick together. So all these are nice and loose. And of course, we haven't got any raspberries at the moment, but I had about 20 of these bags. And again, we did exactly the same. And they're really nice to add to some nice ice cream. Not sure about a crumble, but I do like to experiment. It's Saturday the 20th of April 2024, and before I add the rhubarb leaves to the compost bin, I want to add some of my fish poo to it, because we have been adding a lot of material when we sifted these beds. And as you can see there, maybe that dark area, that's where I've poured some into the wood chip footpaths to help those wood chips break down, so I can reuse those wood chips in about 3 years' time. Like these that we harvested before we put the fresh wood chips down, and once sifted, it looks like this. Lovely material to add, and of course the larger bits either go in the paths or they go in the compost bin to break down even more. I've had to empty the drum out a little bit because my back's not perfect either, but this black liquid full of poop, microorganisms, which will help this compost bin break down, because what with compost prices now, I put everything in. There's the raspberries, I just pull them out of the ground, put them in. What doesn't break down, we throw back in again. It's got to go eventually. Right, let's just add the rhubarb leaves now. I'll get quite a few small sticks, so I pull them out. That just encourages new growth. I think this is going to be better for me to do this. I'll try and layer it if I can with other materials, else it gets a little bit sloppy, but the worms don't seem to care. They just keep chomping on it and eating it, and making me over a cubic metre of compost each year. Collecting leaves, keeping everything topped up the best we can when we're fit enough to do it, and when we can, collect the compost that's unscrupulously dumped by the cannabis growers. And I haven't found much or none at all since August 2023, and we're up to 38,240 litres, and I underestimate. That's a lot of material just to be left dumped on the verges and country lanes, when it can be added as a mulch around my fruit bushes and trees. And adding that to my 3-4 year old wood chips. This is my compost that I make from the compost bin, and mix soil and other bits in. As you can see there, we've missed a few volunteer potatoes, which most of my potatoes start off with that and they break it down. There's some of the compost that's unscrupulously dumped with the added perlite, and here's some of the compost cocoa coir. And as you can see, I've used a lot this time, but there again, I did a lot over the winter, prepping the beds, filling them up, and what a difference this has made, especially while my mind has been elsewhere. And people have said, well, look after yourself as well as Mrs. K. Well, as you know, I ended up with a chest infection, and now my back and muscles are hurting me, and both wrists. You have to smile. I'm just happy to wake up breathing every morning, and I'm also happy that Mrs. K is at the moment as well. And there's my 2 temporary compost bins, so when my other compost bin gets full and we stop using it, so we can harvest all the material, which we've already done, to add to all the beds that we've made and built. These 2 beds were built and added to in a similar way, but this one had super soil to see if it broke down any easier. This bed here will need some extra material. That bed over there, which I've moved all the pipes now. This one where we had the Brussels sprouts. If these haven't got club root, I use my axe and chop them up into little bits, taking out my frustration on those. and there's the purple sprouting, which has really gone over now. So there's quite a bit of material there, and this bed will also need topping up. I'm going to harvest some asparagus now, guys. It's nice early morning and the sun's behind me, but I tend to use a knife. I used to use Stanley blades before, but it's always at a cost. Just cutting them below the surface at an angle, and I don't worry about them getting too long. Pick them while they're nice and fresh. Try not to cut into any that are just below the surface, and any spindly ones I'll take them off now. I've got about another 3 weeks picking before I stop and let them go to fern. So I'll just pick these that are behind the camera, and then I'll tidy these up at home, but you can tell when you slice into them if they're still good. I'll stick these now, wash these off, all the water will drain out the holes. These are old grape containers. I like to leave as much soil on my allotment as I can. Don't want it going down the kitchen sink. Get out that sunlight. Surprising how much soil you end up getting. This is where I've been washing them before, and that'll just drop into the wood chips, ready for harvesting in a few years' time. So we've still got some carrots left. I don't know what condition they're in. I haven't harvested some for a while, so I'll just do that and then bring them back to the top, and then we'll do a potato reveal. So these are the carrots from that bed. That one's in pretty good nick really, but on the first row the outside ones are both split, and that's gone rotten. Probably not enough there even for Skylar to have a play with in the garden, but the others don't look too bad. A few dark areas, but I won't know until I actually clean them up. But I covered them with the black plastic this year, where I just normally mulch them with the cocoa coir to insulate them from the frost, but obviously the water from each side has dripped down the side. So I think next year, once we get down to about this point, I'll harvest all the carrots from down the sides, just leaving the ones in the middle. So that's another improvement. So insulating them's worked, covering them with plastic to keep the water off them has worked, but I think I need to clear the carrots from the outside first. Always worth not worrying about the failures, how you can improve and go forward. So tidied those up. The split ones weren't brilliant, but water's cold, so we'll just have a bit of toilet brush action. Seeing how much soil we get out of that if it settles before we leave today. But not a bad harvest. The dark areas didn't really come to much. We'll trim those up, get rid of all the scabby bits, but very happy with those. And they've been in the ground now nearly 11 months. So potato harvest, these are my new potatoes. So they were sown, planted on the 20th of February, and well, I'll say that one's looking better. As I've said previously, I stacked that one on top of that one on top of that one. Didn't realise that they'd started to grow, And you say, wow, look at these, even though we've had the frost, look at the quality of those, but I still haven't harvested them. They're the Kestrel. What else we got? Some Desiree trying to grow there. Marfona, well, they're buried completely. Sharpie's Express. We've got some more Swift, and I think I'll take the Swift. I think I'll take these. See what we've got from that. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma. Do I let these potatoes carry on growing? These haven't had any added water, so you can see the seed potatoes are still encouraging these to grow. Originally these were planted probably in February, March last year when I made my homemade compost. So the potatoes will have broken all this down there, and that'll go into the compost clay area to be mixed with other materials. So whether we get any new potatoes, I don't know. Just have to excuse the noise. I don't know whether that's dropped down, guys, or not. Just check. Now you can still see me. I've got a new potato, look. But somebody's busy on their allotments. These have gone soft now. They're not really usable. But bargain if I can get just a few potatoes off these. Where's my bucket? Let's not just throw everything on the floor like I normally do. Yes, I think it's just a case of, I think I've just got to let them grow now. These are just gone soft, but the material, if I'd watered them a bit more, they've just gone a little bit dry. It's pointless doing anything with those. So I'm just going on the hunt. Realistically, give it another few weeks. That was okay. And I can harvest those. And that was a good one. I've got to make a choice whether to water some of these. Once they go in the steamer though, oh, that's a bit soft. Mrs. Kate will be happy with those. There's a little treat. Glass of cotton socks. Gets a little bit more difficult to ensure you get all the potatoes out. Just have a fertile through that and I'll go and get another one, because ideally I need that compost anyway. You're probably all shouting down the screen, well, they're bound to be going soft because these are taking all the energy from them. I'll shape them to that side and I'll add any of the potatoes to this side. Unless I see something really nice, I'll bring you back. So as you can see, I've harvested all those. I found one new potato, but the farmers around by us, they've still got potatoes in the ground, and obviously they're doing exactly the same as mine, but they'll have to plough them in, and obviously potato prices go up, so can't be fussed. Got to harvest what we can. Don't want to be paying unnecessary amounts for potatoes, even though the supermarket seems to get them at the right prices anyway, but I'll do my bit. And this is lovely material to add to my compost mixes in the future, so I've got something out of it. Well, that's a nice overwintering and spring harvest from the asparagus for the spring harvest, and of course carrots, potatoes and the sprouting broccoli were all planted the previous season. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thank you very much for your support just lately, and please leave me a comment on whatever you wish. Give those comments a thumbs up if you think they are worthy of it. Join in with the comments. then why not consider subscribing. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.